Welcome to Decades of Horror, the 1980s.
Buddy's a good boy, but he has what you might call basic hygiene problems.
This is episode 251, recorded January 24th, 2024.
Stinks.
Gruesome Magazine.
And apparently it wasn't just his character, but we'll talk about that later. So, I am Jeff Mohr, and this podcast is about horror films released between 1980 and 1989. Each episode, my co-hosts Bill Mulligan, Crystal Cleveland, and Chad Hunt, and I will tackle another classic or not so classic film from this radical, gory, influential, and gruesome decade. Joining me tonight is Crystal Cleveland, the living dead girl, and co-host of the Gruesome Magazine podcast. How are you doing, Crystal?
I'm doing great. I got my cleaver ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Look at that.
That looked like that has some weight to it, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has the biggest cleaver I've ever seen now. Okay. But this is big. This is a big one. It's big. Yeah. Like, it's a big boy.
Look at that chink in it.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Been used before, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be sharpening my knife.
Where's Sean?
You're there and I'm here.
Yeah, where is Sean lately?
That's weird.
He's on vacation.
Also joining us is Chad Hunt, comic book artist and co-host of Decades of Horror. The other ones, too. How you doing, Chad?
I'm 30% fat.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
My BMI's got that beat. Yeah, that was a good one. Also, last but not least is Bill Mulligan, writer, director, special effects guru, author, and all-around nice guy. How you doing, Bill?
Yes.
I'm
Rom.
I'm doing better. And again, just like I did with the 70s, I wanted to thank so many of the listeners that reached out with my dad's recent passing and sent me notes and things. It really, really meant a lot. Really did mean a lot to me. I mean that absolutely sincerely. So thank you all. It's nice to have an extended family, even people I've never seen.
It is. Yeah, and we love you. We've been
thank you
thinking about you. I'm sure
it really has helped a lot. Now that I brought everyone down, let's talk Slaughterhouse.
No.
Well, first, Decades of Horror and Gruesome Magazine are partnering with Play Now Media on several other channels. Decades of Horror of the 1980s is on the Wicked Horror TV channel. Yes, it is. So check us out there. All of our video episodes are there. Starting with, 171, I think, The Hitcher. So check those out, and you can subscribe for no money and see movies with ads, or you could pay a fee and get rid of the ads and get some premium content.
It's all good.
It's a pretty sweet deal.
It's fun stuff. All right. Well, spoiler alert. Once again, Decades of Horror is just a spoiler podcast. I mean, this one is not quite 40 years old, but
not that there's a lot of twists and turns in here, but okay.
That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, this is very straightforward.
So our topic tonight is Slaughterhouse.
And there you go.
Oh, Jesus.
And I would say that's our titular character, but he's not a whole house. He's just Buddy. From 1987, written and directed by Rick Roessler. Cast includes Joe B. Barton, Don Barrett, Sherry Bendorf, Leigh, William Houck, Jane Higginson, Lee Robinson, and Bill Brinsfield. Production company is American Artist. Filmed at, that is not right. Gosh darn it. It was filmed in Lakeside, California, and San Ysidro, California, and at a hog slaughtering facility in Oregon.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they showed up at the Universal Studios backlot, I think security would have been.
I don't understand. There's always one thing that hasn't been corrected for some reason. Filming dates, May 30th to June 29th, 1986. It was saw a limited release on August 28th, 1987. The budget is estimated at $110,000. At somewhere I read, I thought 50,000. So it must be one of those things they upped as they went a little bit. Other titles. Crystal, are you looking at this?
I am. El Carnicero.
The Butcher in Mexico. L'Abattoir de l'Angoisse. The Slaughterhouse of Anxiety. I
just want to say that the Slaughterhouse of Anxiety may be the greatest title I have ever heard in my life. That sounds like one of those Czechoslovakian films a girlfriend would drag me to in college.
It sounds pretentious, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yes, I love it.
Just like this movie. It's so pretentious.
Yeah. So pretentious.
Pig Farm Massacre was a bootleg title, and in syndication, apparently it was called Bacon Bits.
Oh my God.
That's pretty damn funny.
This is getting worse and worse.
All right, the synopsis. I sometimes wonder if people don't just like slip in there and add stuff.
Yeah.
And the people at IMDb accept it. The synopsis: the owner of a closed down slaughterhouse sets his lightheaded psychopathic son on the people who want to take his land away and the unlucky teens that decided to party there.
Lightheaded. Okay.
Yeah, they call them simple-minded. They call them mentally disabled. They call them.
The funny part is I think the dude has nothing wrong with him. He just grew up around the pigs.
Yeah,
that's what it seemed like to me. Like he just seemed like a hog of his own.
That could be. That could well be.
He looks like every guy I ever hung out with when I lived in Florida.
Well, this is him. His character's name is Buddy, and he after he kills the deputy, then he apparently tries to put the shirt on. It's not big enough, and it rips it out. It's covered with blood. He's got his baton hanging there, and his cop shades on, and he's got his pigtail necklace. Buddy. I just love that picture. He goes swaggering on over to that cop car and gets in there and drives away.
Just a lovable
stamp.
Yep.
Well, first impressions here.
Who picked this?
Yeah,
I'll bet it was Jeff.
Yeah, who picked this? Yeah, it's Jeff.
It was.
It sure wasn't me.
It was me. Now I will. He's always do this. I'll look this up and tell you later. But this is a listener suggestion.
Okay, which listener?
Yeah,
I'll tell you. I'll tell you as soon as I look at it. I think I remember, but I don't want to name the wrong person.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, I watched this and I had fun with it. It somehow or another at the same time you feel grimy, like you need a shower.
Yeah,
but also funny and ridiculous, and also there's actually some of this is kind of good. I think some of the shots or the setups. So obviously very, very low budget, not much in the way of effects, but it's interesting. And there's stories behind these people that are just really kind of hilarious. But I think I'll stop there. But I'm sorry, but I enjoy. You know what? I also enjoyed the music.
Oh yeah.
And I'll tell you how much I enjoyed it.
Oh no, you got the soundtrack.
No, this was at Lakeside.
Okay, thank God.
And San Ysidro, which are sort of Lakeside is like 25 miles east of San Diego. So little Jeffy got in his car and drove
Little
to Lakeside
Jeffy.
yesterday.
Wow.
So
did you go into the pharmacy and get some drugs since you
yes.
it was necessary to go do
But
this?
this is the pharmacy that's in the movie. Leo's Lakeside Pharmacy is where they walk in and buy those masks and goof around.
Oh, that's cool.
Scene. So I didn't want to go looking for the hog farm because that looked like it was like down a nasty, dirty road, and I didn't want to take that much time looking for it. But anyway. And there you see the Welcome to Lakeside sign up there.
Home of the movie Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, I bet this pharmacy gets a lot of people coming in. Hey, was Slaughterhouse filmed here?
Well, actually, on the side of somewhere on there it said something about where Renegade was filmed.
The TV show?
I don't know. I didn't look it up, but I just thought
With
that's
Lorenzo Lamas.
the guy, the wrestler, and
that was a
I
TV
think
show,
the producer Jerry Encoe lived around Lakeside or something, and they just got a lot of people to go along with them filming there. So that's what I did yesterday.
Well, there you go.
It was fun. All right. Next up, because he's my favorite turd, is Chad. What did you think of Slaughterhouse?
Hold on a minute. Favorite what?
That's what I heard.
Yep.
I've never seen this before, nor have I ever heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen everything just about. But I don't know. If I'm going to watch a slasher movie, it's got to be kind of good, I guess, or I don't know.
Kind of good, I guess.
I didn't dig it. It didn't bother me, because I was laughing at a lot of it. I thought a lot of it was kind of funny, but it's a terrible movie.
Yes.
It's a terrible movie, but if you want to watch something and laugh at it, it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just some of the absurd things in it. But I'll tell you one thing: the beginning credits really turned my stomach, and I grew up on a farm, and saw some things, but I never saw it. That was pretty bad stuff to show. It was hard to sit through, and with that lighthearted with circus music going on during that, it was kind of strange. So that turned me off at the beginning. But it was okay. I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. It was sort of. I've acknowledged that it exists. How about that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
That's fair.
Okay. As far as horror icon slashers go, Buddy's nowhere near the top.
Oh no.
but he's memorable. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But
all right. Thanks, Chad. Mr. Bill Mulligan, how about you?
I think I probably like this more than everyone else. I don't know. I'm in a funny frame of mind these days, and for whatever reason, I remember seeing this on videotape and not renting it because it's just, we got the cover. It's just Buddy there looking. It's like I'm looking at this. It's like, well, this looks like every bully that tried to beat me up in high school, and by tried to beat me up, I mean succeeded in beating me up with very little effort on their part. So I just didn't. Whatever. But watching it, maybe it's because I'm just so tired of slasher movies that are trying to imitate Halloween. It was kind of a relief to see a movie that was trying to imitate Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just for a change of pace. And the two main characters, Buddy and his dad, they may not be the best actors in the world, but boy, they really committed to the role. They gave it their all, and they were fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And when it was those two, they were fun. Everybody else was like a block of wood, more or less. So the young kids who I guess I'm supposed to sympathize with, meh, whatever. Come on, Buddy, take him out. But yeah, Buddy's fun, and there is some fun scenes. I saw that it said it's a horror comedy. I'm like, oh boy, because horror comedies usually aren't very funny, just horrible. And this one did have some humor, but it wasn't forced. It was, except for the names and everything. Why they named a character Lizzie Borden, I don't know.
That's funny. That's one of the funnier things.
Yeah.
Well, they don't make it obvious either. I mean,
no, it takes a while. You got to piece it together, and I'm surprised they didn't call one of the characters Kevin Bacon, because that was about how far
that would have been hilarious.
But it's all right. I mean, it's well made. It again for $100,000, it's pretty well made. It's well shot. It's lit well. I realize my standards are so low for these things. If you tell me, we got a obscure horror movie from the 80s shot for $100,000, I'm expecting Dracula versus Frankenstein. Like I'm squinting to try to make out what's going on. So the fact that they were able to actually know where to put the lights. I thought the guy did a pretty good job directing, so I'm sort of surprised that the only things he ever did was this movie and the making of this movie. And keeps threatening to make a sequel. But I think everyone who was in it is dead now, for real.
It's on the way.
It is, actually.
And then finding out that Buddy's just about as tall as I am, they made him look hulking. So there was some skill involved here.
Yeah, they did.
It was all up shots. It was all up shots. Everybody's either on the ground and looking up at him, or
if you're looking for an 80s, low budget 80s horror movie that is not going to, it's got a little bit of gore, effectively done. The guy being thrown into that crunching machine. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty good. They didn't show a lot, but because they didn't have the budget to show anything. So instead of, faking it and just throwing some cassava melons in there or something, we just got to hear it. And frankly, that's more effective. I thought they did a pretty good job on this movie. I was pleasantly surprised. But apparently I'm kind of alone in that assessment.
Well, I think
even the crickets mock me.
I kind of think they did too, for what they had and what they had done before, or not. So now the one I'm really waiting for is
here we go. Buckle up.
Okay, so I could see that you would think I would like this film, and I'm going to tell you that I didn't hate it. But boy, and when it first started out, I did laugh quite a bit. I thought it was pretty funny, but the nonsensical nature of it. I'll tell you some things that bother me. The dad, he notices that his son has murked someone. He's like, "Oh man, you can't be doing that. Those aren't our enemies." And then he completely switches to become this torturer. I'm like, what? That literally made no sense. Okay. He goes from, I told you they're not her. And then he tries to show the bat. I mean, that was just dumb. When it goes to that, the moment that started happening, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Look, I will handle some nonsensical stuff because it's 80s, but that was just dumb and silly. And it was bad writing, bad editing. There were so many fails on that level, but for $110,000 though, yeah, it wasn't that bad. It's expensive to make a movie. So the acting was decent. I actually think all the actors were pretty good. I didn't have a problem with any of the actors. So that's a win for, super low budget film. But no, I did not like this film, but I did not hate this film. And I don't need to see it again. I'm glad I never saw this one before. For some reason, when you said Slaughterhouse, I thought, oh, okay, yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I've seen it. No, I had never seen this before. This one just slipped right by me, and I'm glad I watched it because I hadn't seen it. But,
wow!
Only because I haven't seen it. I do. If I haven't seen them and it's an 80s horror, I'm interested. But yeah, no, this did not hit right in so many ways. And
hey, can I just say something?
God.
When I
was
think it's
better when you watch it more than once.
Yeah, when I was a young man, this would have been my ultimate nightmare scenario, to go out on a date with a beautiful woman, and then when I'm asking her how did it go, she's like, "I didn't hate it, but I don't feel the need to repeat it again."
Yeah.
Just being as nice as possible, but just wanting to go jump off a cliff after hearing.
Yeah. It's a hard one, I'm like, well, not great, but not awful.
Yeah.
But definitely not good.
Definitely not good. Okay, well,
we're only 19 minutes into the podcast.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I was kind of wondering. It's a good thing that Jeff found 30,000 comments, because I have a feeling this might be one of those movies we're going to have a hard time filling out the hour. And I know we say that, and then we fall into, well, then this actor did all this other stuff, and this actor did that and everything. I don't think we're going to have too much trouble with that this time.
No. But we do have taglines. So now it is time for...
Yeah, Chad, I failed
Chad.
you. I failed you. I haven't got it done yet, but it's good.
Oh, that's okay.
It's going to happen.
Okay. I'm
so sorry.
Believe me, it's okay. Okay.
He's like, that's better than this movie. So come on.
Because he knows once he gets a theme song, he's stuck doing this for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
I feel like that now.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Good Lord, Jeff.
Can't wait for these.
The one time we needed Jeff to make up some, he can't do it.
There's only 2.
Yeah.
I had to drive to Lakeside. I didn't have my particular.
You should have came back with some taglines.
I thought maybe there'd have been a giant bone cruncher cleaver monument or something. Yeah.
just make up a few like those generic ones that almost every movie has. Imagine your every terror a reality, something that you can just slip into any movie.
The most scariest horror film you've ever seen. The most scariest.
The most scariest.
The most scariest.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
The most is scariest.
You just making that up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Like,
It's hard
Chad,
to tell. It really is.
Master of
That's
the improv.
funny. Yeah, it is hard to tell because I would see them doing. Yeah. Come on.
Okay. The first of the taglines for the movie Slaughterhouse is as follows or are as follows. There's so little of. Buddy has an axe to grind. A big axe.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Well,
all right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the second one's no better. You'll never get out in one piece.
Okay.
The
And those
first
are your
one was-
taglines for the movie Slaughterhouse.
That's it?
Thank you.
That's
Thank
it.
You very much.
That's
Thank you.
And that's
Wow. That was
the taglines.
that was even the biggest letdown.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening here?
I didn't go looking, but I don't think there's very many other ones. I mean,
This is also probably the fewest graphics that I've ever been able to put together for one of these movies.
Yeah, this
Well,
movie just
I'm
yeah.
going to tell you.
Buddy's got tinnitus.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know.
you guys talk for a minute.
Oh,
Okay.
watermelon cantaloupe, watermelon cantaloupe, watermelon.
Yeah, I'm like,
if I can
so,
find my-
So what
Piece
what
of
do
carrots,
we-
piece of carrot.
what
Oh.
do we want to talk
I
about,
don't
y'all?
know, I don't know. Let's see.
I'm like,
Wow.
why is it that when someone puts you under pressure like that, it's like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a funny guy, but if someone walks up to me, holds a gun to me,
I
and says,
would
"Tell a joke," it's like, oh, I go back to like 3rd grade. What do you call a cat that drinks lemonade? A sourpuss. Just shoot me.
oh my god,
Yeah.
I've
Pew,
never
pew,
heard that
pew,
joke
pew.
before.
Pew, pew,
That's
pew.
that's a pretty
That's-
decent joke.
That was my
I
first
think.
joke. I think that's the first joke I remember telling anyone. I probably got it one of those 101 jokes to tell your parents when they're driving you in a car and make them want to hit a tree.
One joke to tell
102
you.
jokes to tell.
I
when
bet your
they
parents
cry.
loved it, Bill. Just loved it.
Oh yeah.
They're like,
Bathroom
All right.
readers.
yes, sir.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
No, he did not.
Yes, he
The
did.
He
Blu-ray.
bought it. He bought it at the pharmacy.
Wow.
Blu-ray. No, I bought it. It's available.
No,
It's
he
from
bought it at a
Vinegar
farm.
Syndrome.
Oh,
Vinegar
Oh,
syndrome,
vinegar
yeah.
syndrome, of course. Yeah.
There's
what are there?
something
What's the
wrong with
extras
my
on
buddy.
that?
Actually, there is a commentary with the director and the producer, and there is an interview with the actress that plays Lizzie.
Okay.
Let's see what else.
Hog slaughtering, getting down.
Other
to the
interviews,
Oh.
older interviews, So anyway, radio interviews, blah blah blah. I mean, they marketed the crap out of this in the area, for regional
Mhm.
stuff. So, anyway, so what are we doing? What do we do next? Anybody remember?
We talk about the actors.
I
Oh,
think we're going
first.
to the
What they've been
discussion
in.
of the movie.
Ah, there we go.
Oh yeah, the poster. Yeah.
Poster.
Oh, the ripoff of Madman poster.
Yes.
Well, why not?
Nevertheless, a good
That's
poster.
what I
See,
say.
they
He does
look
not
at that
look 5'9".
cleaver.
Well, it's
That's
about
a
as,
massive cleaver.
I don't know.
And-
Yours is. Hold yours up again. Let's see. I mean,
But let me tell you something. See, Chad in the taglines, he's got an axe to grind, but it's not an axe. It's
no,
a cleaver.
it's not even close to an axe.
Well, it's a
Yeah.
cleaver with an axe, and I think at the end of it is a pig foot.
Oh my
well,
God.
On the other
Okay,
hand,
that's
he
kinda
called it
funny.
something. What did he call it?
Well, it's weird. Two different places I saw. One place I saw it called the Bone Cruncher Cleaver, and another place it was like the Head Dunker or something, or Head
He said
Luncher.
the bone cruncher when he said, I got you a brand new bone cruncher.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the cleaver, but that's a
Cleaver
cleaver.
for you.
Because
Yeah.
cleavers are meant to cut through the bone.
Hmm.
That's what they do. That's why it's my favorite. It's my choice. my weapon of choice.
And there he is coming out of the cooler in the
We're going to need some proof of life for Sean.
Yeah,
cooler's
really.
in the basement of the
poke his head
slaughterhouse. The cooler in the basement of the slaughterhouse that hasn't been in operation for 8 years.
Yeah.
Which has power.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just coming out of the bathroom.
Wow. Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, that cloud. That's unfortunate.
This wasn't very many in terms of but we got to tell. Well, so here's the dad.
The acting from the dad was, I think, at times maybe a little over the top, but he was very, like I said, the actors were good.
The scene that Crystal,
I didn't have a problem with them.
The scene Crystal was complaining about, that top shot when he's torturing the girl. I mean, that was blatantly taken from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Just 100%. And you're right. It was inconsistent with what we'd seen up till now.
I wouldn't have had a problem with it if he hadn't been like, stop killing all these people. They're not our enemies. The enemies are these people. Like acting like chastising him for killing.
Right.
Some
Or
of these
if they would have showed
a
scene where he snapped.
Yes.
Right.
Or something made him snap, and he
I mean, it's not like he's too far.
Yeah, it'd only take like one line.
I needed that connection.
I was trying to give you damn kids a break, but you won't leave us alone.
Like if if he finds one of the kids and he's trying to get him off the land, they mention I'm a vegetarian or I'm a vegan. Okay, that would do it.
Your meat has 30% fat. Because we know that's an insult for him.
Oh boy.
Like Chad.
So he did some pretty good maniacal laughter, I thought, in a couple places.
Yeah, he was crazy.
And his head got squashed real good.
It did. And that almost looked like a head. It was a very quick cut for a reason.
That was smart. That's smart.
But his name is Don Barrett, and frankly, I don't think
he did.
I think he's got like maybe 3 other credits. I tried going through these. The only one that's got kind of a career out of the actors that I noticed, I could be wrong, I'm not sure I checked every one of them, is the woman that played Lizzie, whose name was Sherry Bendorf at the time, and now Sherry Leigh. She's still active and has done stunt woman stuff and some other things.
That's cool.
And
for the most part, most of us on this podcast have more credits than these folks do.
Yeah, I think
there's a lot of 3s, 1s, 2s, 3s, and then a few 11s to 17s kind of thing, which I'm not, what the heck. So anyway,
that's here where he was eating dog food.
Yes, which was actually refried beans. But
yum! That actually sounds good. I was saying about a tortilla with some.
Well, you think I'm even weirder than you already do if I tell you I've eaten dog biscuits?
No, I know a lot of people who have tried them, but let me tell you, you got to be careful.
Yeah. Well,
because they don't have the same. People have gotten salmonella from dog biscuits.
Yeah. Well, this would have been like over 60 years ago, so I don't know what they made them out back then. But.
Oh, I'm sure they had better quality control back in the day.
It's been I've been getting mad dog biscuit disease ever since.
Mad dog, that's funny.
Anyway, so this guy kind of makes it, I guess, in terms of.
He had some good comedy elements to us.
Yeah, they'd have a good. Oh well, as a matter of fact, I actually did write some of these down because I was thinking they had a bunch of these play on words with hogs. So there's one place he says, "You're being pig-headed, Lester."
Yes.
And
then, you young hot dogs are all alike.
Rim shot.
30 years and now they're skinning our hides.
Whoop, whoop.
My God, boy, you've gone hog wild.
Dun, 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 dun. Hee haw haw, hee haw haw.
Yeah. Gloom, despair, blah blah blah. All right. Oh, and the only post editing, the only post effects. I bet you saw it. Bill,
what?
You talk about stuff like this all the time.
Which one?
The bullet that sparked off the cleaver.
Oh,
okay.
The little spark was a post
Yeah.
I wonder why they even bothered. I mean,
I don't know.
for just a tiny little.
They probably scratched the emulsion on the
Yeah.
on the
Just
film.
like the old days, just scratch the shit out of it.
Yeah.
So we look at Buddy.
Buddy.
Hey, little buddy.
Now, this guy,
I mean, this guy's a natural.
Yeah.
they literally said they were auditioning people. Literally, they were auditioning. And they went outside, and he was there wearing bib overalls.
Oh, well.
And they said, "This is Buddy." Now, the only
Stars
problem
for the
was
role. Yep.
in the script, Buddy was supposed to be a great big guy. So they did a lot of
Movie
low-angle
magic.
yeah, lots of low angle shots, and also shots where he's standing on something, you know,
Yeah.
to make him look taller. But you could see it if you. But they Chad, you talked about this. I don't know what you call it, the intro role in the Slaughterhouse. That was the stuff that was shot in Oregon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
the first time I saw that, I was thinking, that's nasty. Why did they put that in there? But then when I watched it the second time, and when I looked closely, there wasn't the only thing that's sort of semi-graphic is the chainsaw when they do
Yeah.
the
When they got
carcass in half. But the guy's body is kind of in front until you see the two swing out. They didn't actually notch him or that stuff.
did
Anyway,
the shock thing.
it's grisly. And the director said, I showed this to my wife, and she said, I can't do that in the theater, and I had to cut a bunch of it out. So apparently it was much more graphic.
Sure.
I think it must have actually.
Oh.
And listen, I don't want to be hypocritical. I love me some ham, and I am fully aware that unlike sheep, you don't actually like shear the ham off of the pig and let him run on his way to grow some more. I understand how these things work, so I don't want to be a hypocrite about it. But watching a slaughterhouse, it's not the fact that their pigs are being killed and everything. I know that. It's the efficiency of it.
Right.
I could see a farmer, like you were saying, you lived on a farm. I could see a farmer chopping off the head of a chicken or killing a pig or whatever. And okay, that just has to be done. But the slaughterhouse just has this mechanized,
This
sterile
Right.
inhumanity about it. It's just it's rich. It's
Well,
like,
and that's
yeah.
whenever we would slaughter one, it was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because most of those animals were like, you had them since they were this big.
Yeah.
And they grew. So it was kind of a big deal when that happened. And I know what Bill's saying. This mechanized is just not sterile, but just
Definitely
there's
not
no-
sterile, but
yeah,
it has that.
Because it's so detached. Is
yeah,
what it
it's
really
detached
is.
from
Mhm.
any kind of emotion or anything.
Mhm.
They're just on a conveyor belt headed toward slaughter, and nobody cares.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And that's what got me about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a sort of spiritual quality to a hunter hunting the food in the woods, or a farmer killing an animal for meat. I mean, like you say, you raise them, and this is part of the process. But this just, I don't know, it just it hits me a weird way.
It was hard to
Yeah,
watch because this is supposed to be entertainment.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
Right.
And
you
that
know,
music, that totally
the music
inappropriate
killed me.
music.
It totally killed me. The music.
But I think that's what they were going for, and give them credit. That's an effective sequence.
See, I don't really eat a lot of meat. It didn't bother me at all, though, because I
Yeah.
don't eat a lot of meat because I recognize that. And that's
Mhm.
what I think about a lot of times when I think about meat.
I haven't been in a pork
just-
processing plant, but I have been in
I
a
don't really
beef
eat.
processing.
Oh, and the beef's really sad because, they go and they like, I'm laughing. It's messed up. They go and
It's sad,
they-
but haha.
they squish the cow's head, and then the cows behind them know that they're going to be slaughtered
Oh
too.
no!
Yeah.
well, they do the bolt like in
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
No Country for Old Men,
Mhm.
and it doesn't kill them, and that's intentional.
Oh.
Then they hoist them up by the legs and notch their neck because they bleed out faster if they're still
Oh.
alive.
Because the heart does all the work.
Yeah, and then they do the chainsaw, or they've got a thing too that rips the hide off it, and then they do the chainsaw, cut it in half, and then boom, within the space of like 30 to 45 seconds, it's in a freezer.
Yep.
Wow.
hanging.
we've lost half of our listeners.
Oh yeah. And,
I know.
and the other
I
half
know.
are going to be eating salads for a week.
Well,
Sorry, folks,
you know, no,
pig
here's
salad.
the thing. I don't think there's a problem with eating meat, but I do think that we should have some reverence for what we're actually eating, because I don't think that people really realize it. You're eating a living thing. That's all. You know?
Yeah, the whole corporate egg thing, and I'm not bitching about farmers or anything, but they've turned it into assembly line processes, and it's uncomfortable as hell to watch. You know, chickens.
Yeah, it is.
Too, you know, it kind of cracks me up. I see people hating on hunters, and it's like, listen, that deer had a much better life than anything that ends up being veal.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess
so. Here's Buddy, and then
we're not talking about this damn movie, are we?
As long as
it's more entertaining.
Talking about carcasses. As long as we're talking about carcasses, the production designer is a guy named Michael Scaglione, and they found this.
The production design was good. Yeah.
Yeah, they found this abandoned plant. They said they kept calling it a produce processing plant.
Oh, sure.
But then they brought in this other stuff, you know, the hooks on the overhead chain and stuff. But close to it was a hog lot, and they said a lot of these dead, you know, rotting hog carcasses were there.
Oh,
of course. Yeah.
And also this guy Scaglione said he went off. I think he went into Mexico and did some scavenging and brought some stuff back. But like that thing in the bottom picture there, where Buddy's holding up the dead bird, basically.
Yeah.
It's just a dead bird, and
they took that picture when they were outside. He was outside waiting to be cast.
That would not surprise me, though, for some reason.
Yeah. So anyway,
and that was actually kind of sweet that maybe he doesn't really understand death and everything. You know, Buddy's kind of an innocent.
I feel like he likes animals better than people. That's my whole impression of him, is that he doesn't give a hell damn about a person, but he likes pigs because he's practically a pig, because he was raised like that's why like he thinks he's a pig, and he doesn't like people. And that's my impression, that he's actually not mentally challenged, that he just lives in a state.
Why did he stomp the little bird carcass then when he dropped it on the ground?
Because it didn't come back to life when he blew on it.
Yeah, because he was probably mad at it. Because I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows what goes through a mind as complex as Buddy's? I mean,
there's a lot.
There's a lot going on in that picture.
Back to his dad. You mentioned in that top picture, Bill, where he's holding her down. Right before that, remember, he's got that mask on, and his dad tells him to take that damn mask off, and he takes the mask off and he shakes his head.
Yes.
And all the sweat and crap falls down on the actress.
Oh,
she was like, she in her interview, she said, Buddy had the guy that played him had a bit of a hygiene problem, and he really was. You know, if you're running around all sweaty like that all day long, rolling in mud and stuff, you kind of smell. And
this is so much grosser.
That thing where he shook his head and the sweat went in her face. She said that was not in the script, and that really was gross.
Oh.
I hope a good chunk of that $110,000 went to her.
That's grosser than the Slaughterhouse, Jeff. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks,
well,
Jeff.
there you go. There you go. That's what I'm here for.
Ew.
So anyway,
he looks like it. He looks like he stinks. Let's just be real. Sorry to the actor.
You know.
How about a nice greasy pork sandwich?
Well, he died a while back, so
he died a while back.
So he doesn't.
That's sad. That's too bad.
So there was a couple of things that I kind of caught me on here, little bits. Now, I mean, it was obviously fake, but I thought it was kind of cool when they cut the deputy's hand off. Mm-hmm. And then Buddy points the gun at him, holding the hand. You know, he doesn't take the gun out of the hand. He points it at him, holding the hand. And then later on, when they're hanging by the hooks, they got the hand up there with the gun in it, hanging on a hook by itself. I'm like, I don't know. I enjoyed that. And I was thinking about you, Chad, not because of the hands, but because of the. I noticed like 30 minutes in, we had a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when we had the, I guess it was called the fat out, the fat something. What was that called? The
little fat out dance.
Yeah, fat out. Yeah, the little dance in the band. And,
yeah, that got FF.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it about these
Fast
80s,
forward
these 80s movies where they have a band? I mean, I knew a lot of guys in bands growing up, and every song they had was better than the ones that are in these movies. It just sounds so generic. Like AI would do a better job. It's just, they're so terrible. Like a guy who doesn't know what rock and roll is at all. So is like, yeah, I'm going to rock to the rock and a rock. You know, stop. You're embarrassing yourself, Grandma.
Yeah.
Well, did you catch the song at the end? Over the end credits, it was sort of I don't know metal that good, but I would have called it like a death metal or Slipknot type song that you couldn't understand the words, but they put lyrics on the thing, and it was it was very strange.
I love the end credits because they did that thing where they actually show the actors in their roles, and usually when you see that, it's like, well, these are people you're going to see again sometime. It's like, nope, not really. So.
Well, they also apparently made up a bunch of people to make it look like it was a bigger movie than it was.
I love that.
The editor was the.
That's a good idea.
That's a great
idea.
idea.
That's so interesting.
The editor was Rick Roessler, the director, writer, and Jerry Encoe, the producer, and they made up this Italian name.
I never think like that. Like I never would have thought about. That's brilliant, actually. If you had a really low level.
Do that for your next movie.
His name was Sergio
so
Uribe.
Yeah.
Uribe.
Directed by Chad Hunt. Cinematography by Had Chunt.
Yeah.
Come up with as many anagrams as you can for your name.
They're getting dangerous there.
Yeah.
And his brother Mike.
Yes, of course. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Second unit director, Mike.
And strangely enough, I ran into this. There was a tidbit in IMDb that said that there was a remake. A new sequel was filmed in San Diego County in 2023. News story dated. Oh, I looked that up. Slaughterhouse 2 Death Metal. Well, I think the thing in said something about October, but I found a news story from another town in this area. I don't recall where, and I posted it in our chat. Where they interviewed this director and stuff, and they were making a new one. And of course, Buddy is dead, but the guy that played Buddy was dead. But in the movie, they mentioned another son that nobody knew what happened to him.
Yes, of course. That's why I was like, what happened?
They make it the new that son.
Interesting.
And then the girl who plays Lizzie Borden, daughter of Sheriff Borden, is now the sheriff in this second movie.
That's fun.
So
is this movie available? Where is it?
I don't know. You know what it reminds me of? What was that one we did in the summer a couple years ago? Was it The Mutilator? That they were supposedly had a sequel coming out.
Yeah.
And then we never saw it. You can't find it anywhere. This is kind of what it's not listed in IMDb, but there's a news story on this news channel. And it shows them filming and doing stuff. And
maybe it's like Batgirl where they filmed it, but then in the end they decide to abandon it and take the $10,000 write-off.
Yeah, they do a little stick with the news reporter where he's talking to him, and they grab him and wrestle him back, and he screams, and then they come out with a hand, a prosthetic hand. It's. But I got a kick out of it. I thought, hey, this is kind of interesting. And the fact that she'd play the sheriff. So,
that's cool.
In the end, you're definitely led to believe.
It looks bad for our heroes.
But she was practically going to be dead, right? Like he was.
Yeah, the other sheriffs could have showed up, or she could have, lots of ways to pull that out. There was
all a dream.
It was all a dream.
If you count Lester, the dad, body count is 10. Buddy killed 9 people. My favorite is the shoving the guy into the grain auger.
Oh, is that
I think this movie could be PG-13, right? Basically, because
if they put a little more graphics in. This was one of those shows where they show it. They always show it after the fact.
Yeah.
They push him into the auger,
But you
And
only saw.
He's
Mhm.
got like a blood pack in his mouth, and then later they show it. They show like bloody. There's like chunks of meat and stuff and underwear
Yeah.
in that auger.
Underwear, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you should always wear clean underwear, because you never know if you're going to get shoved into a brain auger.
You're
But
gonna
here's
get
the
augured.
problem. Okay, so it's funny that people always say you should wear clean underwear. Why? Everyone pees and poops themselves anyway.
It's
so
to appease the
silly.
rest of the
Yeah.
family. So
Yeah.
the rest of the family's not embarrassed.
See, you should
They
wear
would be
dirty
rich.
underwear, so when they find you and you have peed and pooped all over yourself, I said, "Oh no, that's how it looked when I put it on this morning."
I lived with a guy in the dorms once that claimed that he didn't wear underwear and that he was in a motorcycle accident. When he skidded across the pavement, it ripped his pants off, and he sort of came to standing in the middle of the intersection without any pants on.
I went to the
Well,
doctor once, and the doctor said, "I'm going to need a urine, stool, and semen sample." And I was like, "I'm in a hurry. Can I just leave my underwear?"
Oh my god! Oh my god! I knew where that was going, and I just couldn't believe you were going to keep.
And we get a
I've
you know,
never
the first
heard
guy, buddy swings the big cleaver, and then there's a big splat of blood, and the people jerk a little bit. The girl in the bus, it just is like a squirt of blood across the windshield. You know, so there's not the cut her neck. That was another one that wasn't. Now the one that was sort of they tried, but wasn't a lot to it other than dribbling stuff on it. Was when Buddy crushed the guy's head in his hands.
Yeah, which actually looked pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
The bludgeoning looked pretty good too when he was beating that guy in the head. Had the mask on.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I'm trying to remember. Did this movie have any nudity in it? Because
No.
yeah,
Even,
isn't that interesting? You know, usually for a movie like this, that's got to be done.
A good selling point. Yeah.
So I looked it up. The person that had suggested this is Robert Baker.
Robert.
Mhm.
Along with about half
Robert.
a dozen other ones. And
One day.
a lot of our listeners tend
When you
to
least
suggest
expect
things
it.
that are hard to find.
Hmm.
And I go looking for them when they
Not
suggest
hard
them,
enough.
and I go, geez, I can't find this anywhere. And whoa, there's Slaughterhouse. Okay, we'll do that. So thanks, Robert. And actually, I
Thanks,
enjoyed
Robert.
it. I had fun with
I
it.
did.
Actually, I'm glad. Yeah,
I'm glad I watched
mean,
it.
Yeah.
I never saw it before. So
I've seen worse. It wasn't
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, for sure. I've definitely seen worse. I didn't hate it. Like I said, I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it.
You know, when
That's
we
what the
say
Black
things
Saint
like,
used to say. They'd say, "Put that on the video box."
Yeah.
you know,
Crystal
if
clear.
if my wife says I've seen worse, okay, that's fine because she doesn't seek out crap. But when any of us say things like I've seen worse, we're the ones who reviewed Frankenstein Island. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Of
We
course
have
we've
seen
seen
it.
worse. We saw
Speaking
Fury
of
of the
which-
Wolf Man.
Lots of worse.
And also they do kind of a I don't want to call it a Halloween or thing, but the dad Les. First, he gets stabbed in the back with one of those meat hooks.
Mhm.
Then he gets shot,
Yeah.
and then he gets his head run over. You know,
The last one put him down, but he's
the
a
last
tough
one I
old
think was for
bird.
good.
Yeah.
I love when
So
these slasher movies try to come up with these characters who have their own signature weapon. Like Freddy has the glove, and Jason has the machete, and Michael has the knife, and they try to come up with all these. Who was going to be the new icon? So he comes up with the skull crunching cleaver mallet, Pigfoot hammer.
Excalibur.
He had to pull it from a bale of hay.
Okay, I'm liking this idea.
It's actually
Okay.
kind of cool.
I'm trying to look something up. There's another one of those things I meant to do early. I'm not. Oh, there it is. That's the one I wanted. So this is, I mean, because I worked in a plant where we made stuff like this. So you know how they have all these safety warning symbols?
Sure.
Mhm.
There is a safety warning symbol for augers, and this is it.
What?
Wow.
Gee.
Wow. Man.
And that's a good one. There's other ones I've seen.
That
Where
is
this, like,
good.
It's almost like the guy's all the way wrapped around it.
Yeah, it's like his arm is completely twisted around. Damn.
Oh, I was looking at the other thing that I thought was his leg at first. But
Oh my gosh.
I'm taking it off now.
Wow.
I do
think
have
that
a
was the
few
best one.
augers for like planting. Like, what else are they used for?
Well, they use it to move material, basically. They crank and they
Oh.
move stuff down, you know, so
like grain
of
will
all
go in it,
kinds.
Oh, okay.
and like moves it down the chute.
Because I use them for planting, you know, like in
Yeah.
the ground. So that's like my.
Oh, these are
mine pretty cheap.
like a screw auger. You know how the whole thing, it's a long shaft with
What you do is attaches your screw
Step
auger
slide
into
on
your
it.
Johnson rod
Because they look the same. They're just bigger, right?
but it
Like-
doesn't have to say
and
Johnson.
make sure you wrap it around the
Okay, we're
flywheel.
getting out of control here. What's any final comments about Slaughterhouse? It is available to watch on Shudder. It's a fine print.
Yep.
It
No,
is.
it is. It is a
that,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's available from Vinegar Syndrome if you want to.
So in conclusion, Slaughterhouse is the kind of movie that makes you want to talk about other things.
We got a little bit off track there. All right.
I want to make my own
Thanks, Robert.
tail
We
necklace
appreciate
now.
it.
Yes.
I did anyway.
I
And
I'm glad I saw it. I'm
Yeah.
glad I saw it.
Yeah.
You know.
now it's time for some feedback.
feedback.
Oh
We
yay.
got feedback.
We got a little bit. Holy smokes.
All right.
thought I was
let's
gonna go
start
to bed
with
early
Crystal.
Nope.
Yeah. No joke.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. So we're catching up on feedback because we didn't do any for Gremlins, and we're just gonna say Jose Luis Herrera Lepron. I love you, buddy. I love following these. Like I could go through these and just go episode by episode through 70s and 80s and classic era and see how you grew up. So don't stop. I'm not telling you to stop.
Oh, no.
Well, we got a bunch of Jose comments here and some other stuff mixed in. So going back, episode 165, Motel Hell. Crystal,
How did this
what's
all
it
come
called?
at one time, though? That's so
Oh,
sweet. Did he like
you-
binge it? Did
Yeah.
he
Oh,
just,
he's
been a busy
binging
boy.
Decades of Horror, like all of
that's
them. And then
awesome.
if I look on it, when they come on, they'll say, entered an hour ago. And then the next one is entered 5 hours ago. Then entered. I
That's
think
awesome.
Whatever he does for work, I'm assuming he can listen to him. And he's probably doing like Chad does. He's probably putting it on like 1.5 speed or something.
I hope he's not an air traffic controller.
Oh yeah.
No,
That's a good
no.
idea. Okay.
Anyway, Motel Hell, Crystal.
Motel Hell. Okay, Jose. I love this weird, messed up, bizarre little film. Me too. Oh my gosh. I actually was looking at trying to purchase it, but I couldn't find it for an affordable price. Okay. I first saw it, but edited on TNT around 1990 and found the DVD years later. I had the first Blu-ray, which didn't look so great, but the second Blu-ray steelbook from a new transfer looks much better, nice and grainy and grindhouse. I haven't seen the 4K, but I wouldn't mind having it. Yeah, me neither.
I
Hence
got all
what I was
those.
just mentioning. That's so funny. It's sick and twisted and weird, just I suppose as I am. Aw, that's
One
nice.
of us. One of us.
Yep. The title sequence with Rory Calhoun on the porch really sets the mood. Great stuff, Grue Crew. Thank you, Jose.
Yes, it was. Thanks,
Mhm.
Jose.
Appreciate it, Jose. One of
Yep.
my favorites.
Yep.
And Jose, if you want to tweak Christopher Mohr a little bit, I don't know if you're on social media.
Oh,
or not,
yeah.
Send him notices about Motel Hell.
It's his favorite movie ever.
Yeah.
So Jose again on 189 basket case. Bill, you want to take this
Sure.
one?
Jose says, "Oh, this one. I love this film. When I finally
Mhm.
found it on the old Something Weird DVD around 2000, I felt like I was sneaking contraband into the house. Shut the drapes, lock the doors, pop this in the player. It's so trashy, sleazy, and cheap, and I love every second of it." Bill lived or lives in New York, and I have a feeling that this one captures the feeling of Times Square at the time. Yes. Beverly Bonner as Casey is just amazing. I love her performance, and she strikes me as the kind of person I'd love to have a drunk night out with, as Dwayne does in the film. El Asino de la Canasta literally translates as the murderer killer from of the basket.
Hmm.
I probably mangled that despite 3
No, you
years of
said it right.
Spanish in
You
high
remember,
school. Oh, really?
Yeah, you remember Nasty Canasta from the
Nasty.
Festival
Oh yeah,
Festival.
yes, that's right. Nasty Canasta. Good call.
The basket.
Great
Nasty
pick.
Canasta.
Nasty Canasty. Great pick, Crystal. And I have to tell you that I passed along my DVD to a colleague when I purchased the Blu-ray. She is 5 years younger than I and warmly remembers this one as a child at sleepovers for the full frontal. We were all raised so well. You know that?
Yeah.
I'm so glad I found you guys. And this one
Ooh.
on possession, and this I accidentally read this in 70s because I thought he was talking about The Possessed, which was a really bad movie that we did on 70s. Chad, you want to take this one?
Sure. Jose says again, I've not seen this one, but now I want to. Yeah, you're going to have to see it. You're going to have to see Possession.
If you have Shudder, it's on Shudder.
Yeah.
It's on Shudder. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll see if I can pick up the 4K. See, Jeff, you're rubbing off on everybody now, man. You got.
I know, because he's making me buy.
Oh, this guy is. There's these. Our listeners have far more than I got. And
Mikey Z mentions Cohen's God Told Me To, and I've seen a few online discussions about that one too, and want to see that one now as well. Yeah, God Told Me To was pretty good. Pretty good flick.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, I got all mixed up, and I couldn't figure out what he was talking about. Possession, the one with Sam Neill and Isabel Johnny. Did I get that right? Is that the female in it?
Yeah, is Isabel. Anyway, it's got Sam Neill.
Yeah,
And
Sam Neill's in a lot of good movies.
Yeah.
I was expecting an answer from Bill, and he's looking blankly at me. So
I'm sorry. About what?
The female in Possession.
Isabella Johnny?
Yeah, Isabella Johnny.
It is. Okay, I got it. Yeah. All right. Back to Crystal. Episode 193, Razorback. Oh, by the way, Possession is awesome, and you do want to see the one on Shudder or a new Blu-ray, because even some of the older Blu-rays are so dark you can't really see the creature. This new version is the one.
The 4K version.
All right, Crystal, sorry, Razorback.
Oh, no. Razorback Jose. I've heard of this one for years and seen reviews in various channels and have wanted to see it. Now I must find it. Yes, you must.
Russell McKay. Hell yes.
Heck yeah.
Greg Harrison.
You do. It's
Giant
out there. Get some exploitation. Episode 195, Neon Maniacs from Vector 86 Music.
Yay.
Okay. Neon Maniacs.
Oh, you want to do it, Chad?
Is it my turn or Bill's turn?
Well, if I do it, I'll probably think that it's Nomads, so maybe Chad should do it.
Okay. Great review. I love this film. You should do Killer Clowns from Outer Space. We did.
We did. I sent him a link. I sent him a link to it.
Okay. Yeah. I replied with a link to.
I'm just telling him I did.
Oh, okay. His reply: I can't believe I let this one slip by me. Thanks, Jeff. I look forward to listening to this. I love the channel. Thank you, Vector.
Well, thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
What's the Vector, Victor?
What's a Vector, Victor?
Don't call me Shirley.
We're talking 50s science fiction now. So episode 204, Leviathan.
Okay. This and Deep Star 6 came out at pretty much the same time. I was in college and used to. Okay, so now I'm beginning to get a picture of Jose. He's probably somewhere around my age, possibly, or in the ballpark. I don't know. I had this image of a young strapping lad. I was in college and used to go with two buddies to see movies each week. I miss these, however, for reasons I don't remember. I do remember my buddies describing one of them to me. They mentioned an effect I now know was bad blue spill from traveling mat work at the end of the film when the characters surfaced. Reading the Wikipedia entry suggests it might be this one. I've not seen it to this day. It's worth a shot.
Great movie.
Yeah, watch it, Jose. Yeah.
When these movies came out, Deep Star 6 and Leviathan, James Cameron had The Abyss going, and it was under wraps as to what it was about and what was going to happen in it and all this. So all these studios started coming out with all these underwater movies to try and beat him to the punch. Yeah. And Leviathan was the best of all these ripoff.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun. Well, and it's got fun characters, isn't it? Daniel Stern and Peter Weller.
Yeah.
Isn't what's his name from? Gosh darn it!
From the Real McCoys. What's his name?
Yeah, and he was in First Blood and Jiminy Christmas. He'll pop in my head later. Episode 226 from Jose, The Company of Wolves. Crystal?
I've never seen this one, but I remember when it came out in high school and later in 87 when I was in college. And working my video store job, I used to look at the VHS box all the time.
Cool.
I mean, Company of Wolves is a different sort of 80s horror film.
Yeah, it is.
But I think it's
sure.
very good, but it's a different, I mean, it's not
more
really
of a fantasy horror.
Yeah. But
Well,
I think you should watch it because
I had never watched it because of the cover. It was like all the people wolves in powder wigs and stuff at the table just looked silly to me. But when I watched it, I really enjoyed it. Episode 227, Bill, Vampire's Kiss.
I wanted to see this on first release as the description of the cockroach scene got around our little college film clutch quickly, but by the time we went to see it, the film was gone. I was a teacher for almost 30 years. Holy Christmas! He taught longer than I have. Wow, no wonder he watches horror movies.
Long lost brother, Bill.
Yeah, I was a teacher for almost 30 years, and every year I had at least one student who used the still of Cage ranting at Alba as an online avatar. So it is in pop culture to at least some extent. Yeah, it has really lived on as a meme.
Excellent. And Chad, 228, Zombie Nightmare.
And Jose again says, this came out my senior year in high school. Not sure if it was before or after graduation, but I've never heard of this one, and it sounds like I was fortunate. Yeah.
But wait.
But
Is that the one with what's his name? John Michael
Thor, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Bad metal musician as well as actor. Yeah.
229, Chud. Cannibalistic, humanistic underground dwellers or something like that. Yeah. Crystal.
It's me. Wow. I found this on DVD in the early years of the format and watched it one night and remember nothing from it. Okay, which usually isn't a good sign. Okay, so I feel that because I barely remember anything from Chud, but I love Chud. I still really like Chud and I enjoyed the movie, but for some reason it was super forgettable for me too.
Yeah,
like
no,
oddly,
I know. You're exactly right. I remember
weird.
The little bits and pieces of it, but every time I watch it, it's like watching it for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, Chud is in the zeitgeist for some reason. Odd reason that people always remember that movie, what Chud stands for and everything. But you ask them something about the movie.
I can't remember. That's weird. I know.
It's like, by the way, that also has Daniel Stern in it.
Yeah.
Richard Crenna was the guy we were trying to think of.
Yeah, Richard.
There you
go.
All right.
Boy,
it's not a great movie, but it's
I love
now.
Chud is great. Chud is great. Unlike
the next one. Unlike the next
episode 231, Frankenstein's Island, Bill from
Power.
Jose says, I'm here watching and writing this before the discussion starts. Why? I just watched the Loch Ness episode, and it was so much fun, I had to come here immediately. Crystal's laughing jag in tears when describing the girl's reaction at her boyfriend being eaten started me laughing as well, and everyone in the house was looking at me like I was nuts. Jerry Warren's The Incredible Petrified World is tied with Mesa of Lost Women as the #2 worst film I've ever seen. Yeah, I think Mesa of Lost Women is a masterpiece compared to Petrified World. Oof, but they're both stinkers. Yep, you are right, sir.
And I just saw that not too long ago, and I would agree with you. It's just it's crappy, but it's not Frankenstein.
Is it funny though? Because anyway. Come on. Frankenstein's Island has some beautiful beauty stuff there with just like Loch Ness. Come on, Loch Ness. Oof, it's good.
I'm a little confused I'm a little confused on this one. Episode 235, Monkey Shines, and I'm gonna take this one. Jose says,
Suspiria.
I'm not sure if we got
And I
talking
think
about something else or
Suspiria
what,
is
but he
size.
says, yeah.
Three mothers. Okay.
In Spanish, the verb
Suspire,
suspirar
sigh.
means to sigh. The plural of the noun is suspiros, and I think Suspiria is sighs in Latin, and that seems to hold with the Three Mothers theme. So I don't know if somehow we got off track on that during Monkey
What was
Shines.
that? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. What does that mean, though? What were we?
Any episode I'm in threatens to go off track. So,
and then he says, "By the way, I've never seen this film." I think he means Monkey Shines. By the way, I've never seen this film, but I sure remember the VHS box from my college video store job days. Good episode as always.
You gotta see that one. You got you gotta watch. You gotta watch it. Monkey Shines is good. I mean,
everybody remembers the box because everybody thought it was from the Stephen King story.
Yeah,
from the cover of Skeleton.
Even
Crew,
me, I thought it was. Oh, silly, crazy.
Oh, here's another one. We've talked about this. Okay, episode 236, The Incubus from Jose. We're getting closer. Chad, you want to take this one? I took the other one. Or whose turn was it?
Chad or Bill? Chad or Bill? I don't know which one.
I'll go. I've only read about this film. It does sound interesting. It seems like it's a bit obscure, The Incubus. The Man with X-Ray Eyes would be an awesome episode. Such a sad film, the final shot with Milan describing the eye at the center of the universe that sees us all. What a striking scene, no matter how tacky some of the effects may be, or how padded the film is, even at 80 minutes. It's a favorite here. I'd love to be a contributor in these casts someday. You all have so much fun and have so much expertise. Yeah. It's my longtime 45-year hobby. Cool.
Wow.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. Well, appreciate that, Jose. And we have done a series of stuff. I'm trying to think. We've done it quite a bit on Classic Era where we've had different listeners, guest hosts. We haven't done it as much on 70s and 80s. Not really sure why, except for Ralph.
But Ralph was in those movies.
Right.
He was worked on the movies.
Ralph did. Well, we appreciate it, Jose.
I'm
and it's
open to
definitely
whatever. Yeah. I'm open to like having someone.
Absolutely.
It'd be fun. You know.
Yeah.
Next up, Crystal, 238, The Nest, also from Jose.
This was another film I never saw and still haven't, but vividly remember the VHS box in the video store I worked at in 87, 88, and 89. Robert Lansing always underplayed things, and I do have to respect that. No Shatnernisms here.
Shatnerism.
Shatnerisms. Okay. But you know what? Let me tell you. No. Shatner is, everyone always does Shatner like that. I get real pissed about this.
Oh my God.
I love William Shatner.
I love him too, but you got to admit
he doesn't No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Like everyone always does him.
We're going to fight
as he's overdoing it, but he doesn't.
That's how impressionists are. Impressionists take mannerisms and exaggerate.
Exactly.
That
but
you
that's
can recognize.
Not Shatner. But that's not Shatner.
But
that's not how he plays.
In the original Star Trek, he does.
No,
he does a lot of weird.
I literally
pauses
have
and
even
emphases.
Yeah, pauses is one thing, but going, but I don't know. He doesn't do it.
No,
it's not even. No, but that's how everyone portrays him. And
I could see William Shatner when you did that.
Yeah, I know. I totally had a flash.
When you do that, everybody thinks William Shatner.
Yeah,
you do not understand. We are human.
Yes. Yeah. But that's not how he actually does it.
No.
Someone he really isn't.
But
that
he has
big
a
of an over actor.
He has a distinctive cadence, like a great actor, Christopher Walken. I mean, Christopher Walken doesn't sound like anyone else, and that lets people do imitations of Christopher Walken. It's not that he's a bad actor; he's a distinctive actor, old school.
But you know what? Here's the truth, though. Everyone equates him as being a bad actor for it, and that's why I get bothered.
Well, I don't.
That's why I get bothered by it because
I guess I don't.
Because they see they're like, oh, he's such an over actor. No, the way people are doing him is an over actor. A lot of people haven't even watched him.
He's
and
a-
they think
he's-
that's
he's
how,
a-
you know, I'm serious. Like they haven't
He's
even
the
watched him and
lead.
they think that's how he does it. And I'm like,
He's a lead on a TV show that's over what? It's like almost 60 years
60
old.
years.
He had like a dozen spinoffs. I mean,
But enough about TJ Hooker.
all right. So,
Shut.
all right.
I just think he gets no credit. I think he's a far better actor than people give him credit.
Listen,
for.
I
That's
agree
all.
with you. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah. We're not
Ooh,
arguing.
look, episode 239, dolls.
239 Dolls by Jose. I think we're at.
I'm sorry, Jose.
I don't know where we're at. Something
Totally
like
got
that.
off track. I just did it.
Okay,
I
so
said
Bill,
Shatner.
dolls?
I didn't know Shatner is.
Oh,
so I
dolls.
should-
Okay. Jose says, I was in high school when this came out. My father was a fan of Full Moon Productions, so he probably rented it, but I never saw it and I still haven't. Oh, check it out. It's good.
It's
come
on Tubi.
When I was working the mom and pop video store in 87, 88, my first couple semesters in college, I remember the VHS cover vividly, but never took it home. That must have been fun working in a video store in 87, 88,
Oh,
the
man,
golden
the height of it.
age.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, check it out. And I believe Ralph joined us for that one too, because he worked on that. That
Yeah,
was
he
a
worked.
Stuart Gordon
He
film.
worked on the teddy bear. Mhm.
Episode 241, Alligator. Jose, where are we at?
We're
yes.
with
Is it me
Chad.
again?
Mm-hmm.
Which one? Alligator?
Alligator.
Alligator.
Love this movie. I remember seeing it on broadcast primetime TV in middle school, maybe 81 or 82. Then nothing for 40 years and got the Scream 4K, and it's just gorgeous. Like watching a
is.
pristine 35 millimeter print in a theater. It's humorous and I love it. The jokes about Forster's magically vanishing hair and hey, a movie having Jack Carter devoured whole by a swimming pool could never be bad.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Yeah. I love it.
That
Jose.
movie was better.
I think
had
it's hilarious.
any
It's-
right to
it's
be.
good.
Mhm.
Episode 244, Cujo. Crystal?
Oh, it's me again. This was a favorite in our house when it came out on VHS, probably 84. My mother had the hardcover. What's the hard? Is that a
book.
hardcover like VHS? Like, is that
The
what?
book.
No, like the book.
Oh, I'm so stupid. Okay, sorry, I'm so stupid. That's
You're
what
not
I was like.
stupid. You just,
No,
I was
you're
like,
not.
oh, yeah.
we,
and-
we
And that
switched
cover
media.
and that cover you showed was the one. And I read it. I think I was a little too young at 14 to read that kind of stuff. No, that's perfect for a 14-year-old. I have issues. Okay. Good film. Pintaro really was great. And that scene where he seems to be having a seizure scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Hal.
And
That
you
kid
feel
was
sorry
an
for
awesome
Cujo.
actor
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
in that. Mhm.
And you feel sorry for Cujo. He was just
Yes.
chasing a bunny. Yeah. And then
That's
that's
right.
yeah.
Mhm.
He was just being a good dog.
Good boy.
Oh, that makes me sad. That's such a
Yeah.
We're almost there, folks. Episode 248, Puppet Master from Chad White.
Oh, Chad
so
White.
bad.
Great show, everyone. And what is that? A taco? What is? Oh, a clapping.
That's
hand.
Clapping
clapping.
I can't see shit.
Wow.
All the Puppet Master movies are awesome. Well, okay, just some of them are awesome. Others not so much. And then there's a
That's
smiling face, laughing face, crying, tears of joy.
No, Chad, that's a poop emoji. Boy, you really need to
Oh,
look
sorry.
closer here. Yeah.
I'm sorry. God.
That's
Taco.
okay. Like I'm pretty far away from my screen, so sometimes I have to be like, "What?" Yeah.
All right.
And Joe Lashadali it says about Puppet Master, the 80s were glorious.
Yes, they were.
Yes,
They
they
were.
were.
And this is the listener. We have fun trying to figure this name out because I think it's Joel Ashadali. Joel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joel.
Joel
Ashadali.
But
Yeah,
it
that
could be
sounds.
Joe Lashadali.
Just say it all as one word. And
I think the
Joel
name-
Right, both ways.
Ashadali.
I think
Joel
it's Joe
Ashadali.
Lash Adderley.
Oh, well,
What?
okay.
It's my theory.
Joe Lashadali.
Yeah.
Okay. Look,
No.
249, the beast.
No,
within.
no. Bill-
249, the
Bill's the
beast
only-
within.
no,
I think
no.
we're at Bill.
Oh, yeah.
You
We're
You guys are like, man, look, a squirrel.
Jose.
Jose says of the beast within, I saw this for the
True,
first
though.
time 10 years ago on DVD. It's a bit confusing in places, but I was impressed enough to buy the now out of print Blu-ray. It's always great to see Logan Ramsay on screen. And then Ed Limey also says of The Beast Within.
Yeah.
Saw this when I was in high school around the time it was released. Creepy atmosphere, and the townspeople were creepier than the monster, often the case. At the time, I couldn't figure out if it was a werewolf or a fly. I finally just decided it was a giant bug and agreed that it just made the movie more confusing. You failed as a filmmaker if an intelligent person goes to see this movie. It's like, is that a werewolf or a fly? I don't know. It's like you have really fallen down on your job.
Or my
No,
crazy?
well, good.
Yeah.
Nobody knew it was a locust
Yeah.
or a cicada.
You're right.
Nobody
Cicada.
knew that.
You're absolutely right. Nobody.
I was right. I was like, wait, was it? Now I can't remember. I'm like, oh. Yeah,
Okay.
the whole movie was just weird.
Yeah.
Come on.
We got
It's good,
through
though.
Ed Limey. All right. Now we've got 3 on Gremlins, and then we're done.
Oh wow.
And I'm just putting the last one in. So go ahead with
Oh,
Perfect
I was
Mask.
going to say, I
1.
only see 2.
Somebody.
Is it me?
Go ahead.
I think
I
so.
don't know. Okay, Perfect Mask. Great show, guys. Listen while I was off work with the stomach bug. I'm sorry. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Despite feeling rotten, the show kept up my spirits. Thanks. That's so sweet. That's nice.
Appreciate it.
It's a wonderful thing to think.
Appreciate it that
Okay.
much.
Wow.
And-
Somebody listened to Chad do the taglines on an upset stomach. I mean, not all heroes wear capes.
We didn't do taglines on that one.
Oh,
Mm,
cool. Dodged a bullet there,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
That was a star-crossed episode. I think it turned out pretty damn good, but wow, it took a while
Yeah.
to get things going. All right, Jose, Bill, I think
Okay. I went to see, and again, we're still talking about Gremlins.
Gremlins. Yep.
Mhm.
I went to see this the week it opened in '84. I've been looking forward to it for months, and I wasn't disappointed. What I didn't expect, even at age 14, almost 15, was just how dark this one would be. I still have a set of stickers they were handing out the theaters and some of the bubblegum cards. It took years for me to notice Chuck Jones' cameo in Dory's Tavern with Billy near the beginning of the film. Yeah, I
Not
think a
real
lot of
obvious.
folks were taken surprised by that.
Not a lot of people know what Chuck Jones looked like, so
I did.
I'm sure you did.
Chad's like, I did. I'm cool.
Well, Chad is super into. I mean, Chad's the one where we looked at the cover of the Conga comic book, and Doc goes, "Who did that cover?" And Chad goes, "I bet that was Dick Giordano." And we looked it up, and it was.
Yep.
So
He knows his art.
that's a skill I don't have, or
That's
knowledge
his-
I don't have.
That's his whole job, though, to know.
That's right.
I mean, really, right? Like styles and
Yeah.
got the eye. Yeah.
All right. And today's last comment on Gremlins from Lone Wolf. Chad, you want to take that?
No.
What?
What did Lone Wolf ever do to you?
Would you please take that, Chad?
Yeah. Okay. Say the magic word. Sometimes I look back at the year of 1984 and think, wow, I can't believe I was born during that time. So many great movies came out. And Gremlins is certainly one of them. One of my all-time favorite horror movies and Christmas movies. This was my introduction to Phoebe Cates, and I loved how she was cute and funny at the same time. Zach Galligan does a solid job as the geeky hero. What more can be said about Dick Miller? And of course, there's a super cute Gizmo. I want to hug him so bad. I still have my figure of him with the Rambo headband and bow and arrow. The special effects wizardry in this film is phenomenal. I was smiling from ear to ear listening to you guys talk because it really took me back to better times. I love y'all.
I love you too, Lone
I
Wolf.
appreciate it, Lone Wolf.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, Chad, why are you reading Lone Wolf like he's lightheaded?
I don't know,
trying
but I
to-
loved it.
I
It
was
made
trying
it
to
sweet.
read it like an 80s toy commercial.
Yeah,
Oh.
it sounded so sweet and fun.
Yeah.
Like it's. I mean, I know some.
Appreciate
might
it,
think
Lone
that
Wolf. That's
Sounds
awesome.
you
Yeah,
know.
man. Thank you. Thank you, Crystal. You got it.
All right.
Yeah,
So
sounded like exciting.
appreciate
Sorry.
the comments from all the people that commented. Perfect Mask, Jose, Lone Wolf, Chad White, Ed Limey, Vector Music.
Joe Lashadala.
Yeah, Joe Lashadala. That's it, I think. So appreciate that. So everybody,
Joey
please,
Lashes.
that's all we're doing. We're just folks sitting around. I feel so lucky to be connected with this group because where I grew up in Iowa, I'm not saying there weren't people that liked these movies, but nothing like you guys did. So I really didn't have anybody to talk to it about. I mean, my parents wouldn't even let me watch Twilight Zone.
Oh
my.
So it's so cool to have somebody to talk to this stuff about and not feel like I'm a bigger weirdo than I really am.
Yeah.
Embrace
You're
your
normal.
weirdness.
It's fun. It's fun.
Oh, I just love people listening to us and actively participating.
Yeah.
Yes,
That makes me super
absolutely.
happy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, they
Like-
are.
So yeah, if we could get other people to comment on their experiences with the movies we cover or anything that makes a connection for you, please leave comments. You can leave
Let
them
us know.
on the Gruesome Magazine YouTube channel. You can send them to feedback@gruesomemagazine.com,
Yes.
or you can go to the Gruesome Magazine H&R and DOH podcast Facebook group
Yep.
or the website, which is gruesomemagazine.com.
And if you
Very
have
cool.
friends, tell them.
Yeah.
Uh,
If they like horror.
Mhm.
We also have a Patreon page where for a very small monthly contribution, you can get Decades of Horror within a day or two of when we record it. And the time lag or the way the schedule works out is usually about 2 weeks after we record it, it goes live. So you can get them in your greedy little hands right away if you want for relatively little. All right. And we appreciate that. It helps us pay for server costs and
StreamYard,
software,
all that stuff.
StreamYard and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And Chad's salary.
Yep.
So that's it for this episode. But every 2 weeks, we'll be focusing on a specific film released between 1980 and 1989. Next up, we have one chosen by Bill.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Well, I mean, now this is a film that's more fantasy than horror,
that's
but
for sure.
it's got
I do
snake
like it.
cults and witches and decapitations and one of the best scary transforming villains ever. And more importantly, a movie that really tells you what is best in life. I'm speaking, of course, of Conan.
Wait, what's best in life?
Oh, do you not know what is best in life, Crystal?
No.
Chad,
What is
Chad,
Hey, wait. Hey, I have a
tell her what
sword
is best in
from
life.
I have a
Uh-oh.
sword in Conan from Conan.
Really?
Yeah. But I can't reach it. It's mine stuff. But it's actually like metal.
Don't cut yourself. Oh my God. If she screams off camera, it's like, oh my God, get a tourniquet.
Wait, where is it? Oh, there it is. See, I've got a
Back on the
lot.
bus.
I gotta, oh my God. I don't want to cut myself because it's like real metal.
Crystals, put it down.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
It's
Her
like
head's
the
going to come
dad-
rolling across the
It's-
screen. I
it's-
know.
It's
That's
weird
just-
that she has all these weapons that we
I
keep
knew I
talking
should have picked the Muppets
Say-
movie.
Ugh,
Whoa,
like
look
the
at
dad
that.
sword.
Dang.
It's really
Wow.
heavy. Yeah, it's really heavy.
Yes, do not
So-
accidentally
Very cool.
decapitate yourself. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Sounds me. Yeah,
Wow. So if someone breaks into your house, you're gonna have
it's metal.
a sword in one hand and a cleaver in the other. It's like, ooh.
I think she knows what's most important, Bill.
I think
That's
she
all
knows what's most
yeah,
important in
I
life.
think so, too.
They're
I'm
both
not going to argue
important.
with her. That's for sure.
To kill your enemies, to see
See
them
your
driven
drip
before you,
before
to hear
you.
the lamentations of their
The
women.
women.
Yeah,
You guys.
that is good.
If y'all had gotten that together, that I think I'd die from laughter.
It's almost
Like
impossible
Roger
to do
Rabbit.
with the lag on here. But at any rate, you know what? Thank you guys. I really appreciate it
Thank you
for
guys.
watching
Thank you.
Slaughterhouse and talking about it with me
Yep,
and
yep, this was
our
fun.
listeners.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
Yep.
Anytime. That's what friends
We
are
love
for.
you, Jeff.
That's what friends are for.
Jeff. Why is Jeff being so sweet? It's
I
kind
don't
of weird.
know. It's,
I
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
scary.
I don't know. He's always
Like-
sitting there telling us his life story and everything. Can we get on
Yeah,
with this?
some, I feel
Yeah,
like
we
Yeah,
can.
you know what it is?
I
he
feel
probably,
like,
he
Jeff's
probably
one.
thought of something sad, like the time he tried to go buy the God Monster of Indian Flats Blu-ray DVD, and they were all sold out.
and it's already gone. It's out of print. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, but
All right.
y'all know that Best Buy is like starting to stop selling physical media, right? So
Stop.
that's
Yeah.
like
Yep.
horrible.
Yep.
I'm
Get
like,
it while you can, folks.
That's why I was
Oh,
like,
stop
that's
it,
not the right
Crystal.
idea.
You're harshing my mellow.
Mhm.
Let's say
harshing?
good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good
night,
night,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.
Gruesome Magazine.